Hey, Amanda, how's it going?
It's going well, Charlene. How are you?
I'm good, I'm good. I am once again excited to talk to you about what's happening in the market and what you're seeing in terms of interest rates and fixed and variables and all that sort of stuff. So I'm going to introduce myself and I'll let you introduce yourself.
Sounds good.
So I'm Charlene Williams. I have been a real estate agent for just over 15 years now. I work in for Real Estate Homeward in the beaches, and I'm excited to have Amanda with me, and we're going to talk about interest rates. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yes, my name is Amanda Fivar, and I'm a mortgage broker with Mortgage Connection. And I've been a broker for almost 10 years, so coming up in July, and I'm here to answer all of your mortgage questions.
Okay, great. So here's my question. Bank of Canada, as we know, the last rate announcement was March 6th, I believe, and they decided to hold rates. So what are your views on that?
Yeah, I mean, it was no one's surprise they decided to hold rates. We're not just there to drop yet. What we were kind of surprised about is the little information given. We were kind of expecting them to start indicating rate drops or some type of good news, but they didn't. They really just stayed to holding, watching everything, same messaging that we've been getting. Now, top economists who've taken a deeper dive into everything else going on, so employment numbers, inflation numbers, immigration, GDP, they're still predicting June. They're predicting that come April, we'll start to kind of get indication by the Bank of Canada it's coming, and that by June, we will see our first decrease. So, of course, no one has a crystal ball, but I'm with them on that. I think June will be our first drop.
Wow, so I've been hearing something totally different, and articles are coming out saying that they don't even know if that's going to happen in June, and I'm not happy about that. But again, nobody has a crystal ball, so 50-50, you're right, you're wrong, right?
It's so true. And I think unfortunately articles are coming out for sure, but who's writing the articles? Where are they getting their information? And again, they didn't give as much information on that meeting, but top economists are still staying true to their predictions that it's going to be June, whereas the media, they're just grasping for straws. They see a meeting that didn't give us much, it didn't give us positive, it gave a negative, and they're taking it their own way.
Right, right. So the next rate announcement, April 6th, I believe.
Yes, we're coming up.
Somewhere around there. Okay, excellent. So tell me about fixed rates. What do you think?
So fixed rates follow our bond yields. We're not even looking at the Bank of Canada when it comes to that. And our bond yields have been very interesting. We saw a massive decrease from April, but we're a little bit up high since we were in February. This is normal. Bond yields are always constantly up and down, up and down. If you look back historically over the last 10 years, this is nothing new. So fixed rates, they were a little bit lower 2 weeks ago. They've gone up slightly by 0.1% right now, but next year they can be a completely different story. My advice to anybody with fixed rates is a couple things. One, if you did a pre-approval in the end of last year or even the beginning of January, update it. Chances are your rate's a lot lower and that can increase your affordability. My other big piece of advice for anyone looking into fixed rate mortgage is ask your lender, how many times can I drop this rate between now and my closing date? My
Mhm.
guesstimate is between now and say June and May, we're going to see a lot of different changes happening within our mortgage market. So you want to make sure whoever you're going with has a lot of flexibility to either one, change your product, or two, drop your rate up to 5 business days prior to your closing to make sure you're always getting the best rate.
Right. That makes a lot of sense. So they should contact their whoever does their pre-approval, like for example, you if you were their mortgage broker.
Absolutely, because if
Okay.
someone's gone into the bank, unfortunately, nobody's really watching this for you, especially after you've already purchased. It's not a big secret that once the bank finishes your file, gets all the paperwork and it's signed, it's off to the next division. And no one's really calling that mortgage back to say, wait a second, rates have dropped. So going with a mortgage professional is a lot more secure right now because we're constantly watching rates and have the ability to recall things pretty quickly to get rates dropped. I also learned something really interesting last week that I didn't even know. So I had a client who had come to me and they were originally pre-approved by their branch. Well, their branch, they actually pre-approve things off of a 25-year amortization and the poster rate versus the actual rate Or if you have 20% or more down payment, the 30-year amortization. This is huge for your pre-approval. For my clients in particular, the branch had actually approved them for 650. When I approved them on a 30-year amortization, the actual interest rate, if they actually were qualified for 775,000. So a
Wow.
huge, huge difference, and something that they were really disturbed about. They couldn't figure out why they were approved such a lower amount when they're two professionals, great income, great down payment. And it's because it was qualified on 25 years at 5.96 versus 30 years at 5.29.
Wow, that is a huge difference in terms of when you're purchasing, especially in the GTA, the purchasing power is there.
Oh, absolutely. It's the difference of having a 1 bedroom plus den or a full 2 bedroom condo and for a couple buying together. That's huge, having that extra space.
Totally is. Well, I'm glad you were able to do that for them, but as a warning to people who are watching this, or, if you come across this information in any other way, reach out to Amanda if you've been pre-approved by a bank, and she will help you
Yeah.
hopefully get more spending.
Yeah, more spending, or if you're at your max spending, better interest rate, a
Right.
5.96 versus a 5.29. That's a lot of money in someone's pocket every month, especially over a 3-year period of time.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That sounds good. So you were also saying to me earlier that um, if the Bank of Canada drops the rate
Mhm.
like 1%, you would see a 90% back?
Nine. So
Nine.
yeah, so they're guesstimating that if we saw a 1% drop in interest
Mhm.
rates, we'll see a 9% increase in pricing, which is huge. That's quite a bit of money that we will see our pricing go up. Anyone who's sitting on the sideline, I mean, we've said it for a few months from now. Now is your time to get in. You cannot normally time the market, but you can right now. We know rates are going to come down. We see the signs of pointing to rates coming down. So get in while the rates are slightly higher, but the prices are down, because in 3 years from now, when everything is even and the rates are the same, that's when you're going to save thousands and thousands of dollars of interest over that lifespan of the mortgage.
Right. And that makes a lot of sense. And we know out there that there are still areas that have not changed throughout all of this. There are still areas like Leslieville, Riverdale that have multiple offers going on and people are losing out. And if you can and if you want to, you can go further afield. I mean, the
Yeah.
GTA is a large area so that we can find something that you like in the school district that you want, at a reasonable price.
Yeah, and I think anyone who's a condo buyer, now is an excellent time to be buying.
Yeah,
Historically, we've always seen that as our detached and semi-detached freehold market picks up, it becomes unaffordable very quickly, and the condo becomes the alternative for a lot of families.
right.
Right now, we're not there. The condo market is hurting compared to what it's normally like. So any condo buyers on the fence, now it's a great opportunity.
Yeah, that's a good one to put in there. Absolutely. We have a lot of condos on the market and they're just kind of sitting there. So there are deals to be had for sure.
Absolutely. And options, which is not something we normally have.
That's great. Well, you know what? Thank you, Amanda. I really appreciate you giving us your well sought after advice. Um, this has been amazing as usual, and hopefully we can get together again soon, like after the Bank of Canada announces in
So
April.
hopefully at that point, I have some more news based off the Bank of Canada. I would love to do this again, and I'm always happy to share my mortgage knowledge with you.
That's excellent. Thanks, Amanda. Have
Yeah,
a
thank
great
you,
day.
Charlene. You too.